What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Birthday Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great betting content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Obviously, you're sick of talking. This is like 3 days in a row we've talked about this, but I got to say from the get-go, y'all are the best. Thank you for all the great messages, DMs, everything. Yeah, especially the DMs. Yeah. No, I really appreciate everybody for checking out the content. And then just being great. Just treating me like, I don't know, I feel really good. And I'm a lot older than I look, is what I'm being told today. So there's that. That makes me feel as though I'm bringing youthful energy, trying to give you guys not only great information, not only math-based, statistics-based, data-based information, but maybe you're having a little fun along the way. Let's have a little fun today here as well with this 15-gamer on Wednesday. Monday was an absolute smash fest. In the premium Discord, 6-0 on all outrights, money lines, totals, all those great things. We ended up on the Dodgers -1.5. If you follow me on X, at Eric Lindquist, just find my handle there. While it's free, friends, make sure you're taking advantage. But at Eric Lindquist, you can find me there. Updated everybody with Dodgers -1.5. I think today on Tuesday, of course, I'm playing the Detroit money line like a sick person. So there's that. No locks, except for one did show up there with the Arizona-San Francisco game in just the most ridiculous capacity. They kept the roof open today. We'll see how that one turns out for me. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. Hey, this is working out for me. BetMGM back in our lives. They get a beautiful, like, pinkish, purplish graphic behind me, or the lighting. And then this beautiful, I just think it's such a clean logo, in my opinion. But this is also a clean freaking deal. Bet $10, get yourself $200. That's 4 $50 bonus bets just from $10. So, Caesars, that was 50 to get 250. This is 10 to get 200. Pretty ridiculous. And that's available instantly when you sign up at the link below. So again, this might be better. I know the price point is better. Obviously for me, I want to just get 5 $50 bonus bets. But for some of you, this is a great opportunity. $10 to get 4 $50 bonus bets. If you're betting $5, $10 a unit, you're getting 4 massive opportunities here from BetMGM at the link below if it's available in your state. And it's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty. No more birthday talk, because technically we're doing the show for the 20th. But we got some fun in store. We got producer Jacob on hand. He's ready to rock. He's ready to roll. Let's get to the picks. Our day begins with a little bit of a mismatch in terms of starting pitching, and yet, because Atlanta's lineup's ridiculous, why wouldn't they be the favorites? How many opportunities do you get in life to go out and back a Philadelphia team as a dog in this kind of a spot? I don't know. But I am literally looking at alternate lines as potentially the way I want to play this game. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why. Aaron Nola, Bryce Elder, the Elder Wand. One is really good, one is really bad. But again, it can't be understated how good this Atlanta lineup is. So Nola, 302 xWOBA, 24.9% K rate, does, though, carry a .410 expected slugging with an 8.4% barrel percentage, which isn't apocalyptic. It's barely above league average. But barely above league average in terms of power statistics against an Atlanta Braves team that just gives up gobs and gobs of home runs. That's a problem. And then you look at Bryce Elder on the other side. It's not like I want to go to Atlanta's side and back them outright, considering the power that exists, especially for left-handed bats going up against Elder. 40.8% hard hit percentage, 257 expected batting average, and just the big thing, an 18.2% K rate going up against everybody this season. Yikes. Yikes. That is problematic. And that's where I think some alternate spreads might be about how I attack this. And I'm sure producer Jacob was looking at this before the show. How does he land on -1.5 here? This doesn't make sense. This is available as an alternate spread on multiple books, including our friends over at BetMGM. And that's where I think if he just has that game, if Aaron Nola goes out and is that dude here in this spot, I want to get the ultimate reward for like an average outcome for the Phillies going completely nuts and just doing what they do. Well, not completely nuts. Again, average. Put up 4 runs, 5 runs. See where you land in this kind of a spot if Nola has his A stuff. So more of a back of a starter, but like a half unit. Don't go nuts. Looking for alternate spreads. If you want to just play the money line, go ahead. But again, Atlanta, I'm looking to just get the ultimate reward in these kind of spots and looking at some alternate spreads that are north of +180, +190, +200 on the Philly side. That's where I'm preferring if I do anything here in this spot. Again, that's just a lean as it stands right now. Game number 2, my Minnesota Twins, they did end up on the card there on Tuesday, and not just because it was my birthday, but because these lines are a little bit confusing to me, and even this one's a little bit confusing, seeing even money on the Twins side. Cincinnati, they're basically done with everything. Hunter Green, are they going to really put his pedal to the metal with Hunter Green here in this spot? I love this stuff. I always have, but he is definitely had a power problem. He's definitely going to be one of those guys who strikes out 8 or 9, but could also give up 3 or 4 home runs. And that's where I think I want it to be a little bit more prop-centric if I do anything here with this game. No props yet available, even though this will be a morning game, so this will be bright and early. I better not have too much fun tonight. I can throw that out there because I'm going to be posting in the premium Discord, and there's money to be won. I want to be attacking these numbers early and often. That's kind of what's happened. The Royce Lewis one was drastically lower, but again, ended up on that again. Hopefully he can go yard on Tuesday. Hasn't yet. Still time. There's 3 innings left. 2 innings left. Anyway, we've got right now Hunter Green on the other side. He's got the strikeout stuff. He's got the pedigree. 212 expected batting average is also fantastic, but a 44.1% hard hit percentage, 8.8% barrel percentage, kind of skews that 30.1% K rate. And while he's one of my guys, so is Alex Kirilloff. He carries a 26% K rate. Normally when I'm looking at guys with tons of strikeout stuff like Hunter Green, I'm looking at people who don't really strike out all that much. Does it exist on the Twins side? Every single batter in this lineup, 22% or higher. Max Kepler, it's wild to think that he's the guy that we're looking to like avoid strikeouts with. But like Solano and Correa got dinged up, but he's fine. Christian Vasquez, Royce Lewis, everybody else, 22 to 23% K rate. Everybody else way higher. So it's very, very interesting looking at some of these props. I think we got to be very specific, and that's where I'm just targeting lefty power. It's really not science. It's actually math if we're going to be exact about anything. But we've got our guy right now just going absolutely nuts. Alex Kirilloff, Matt Wallner joining the party, and of course, Royce Lewis, we've been backing the last couple days. But as I look at Hunter Green, he carries a 34.5% K rate against lefties. That's hefty. And only a 130 expected ISO. He's generally had more problems against righties than he has lefties. But this comes down to, obviously, you have to grade the lefty pretty decently well as well. You got Max Kepler up there with the 260 expected ISO, but he has not had very good numbers in terms of props, just looking at the historical data. And that's where Alex Kirilloff, he's been north of plus 350, plus 400 in Cincinnati. You also get to tap into the bullpen for the last 3, maybe 4 innings, depending on how long they want to give Hunter Green the opportunity to pitch in this one. I can't imagine he's going to pitch very long. So that was a long-winded conversation, but it mattered. Be sensitive. It's not like books don't know this game is going on in Cincinnati, but I think they're a little bit slow to see some of the AAA numbers, the conversions to Alex Kirilloff that I think are going to display themselves over the course of the next year or two. That's why he's my favorite target here. If the number is appropriate, I want that better than plus 375 number in order to make it a thing. Gray's my favorite color. Actually, we're going to do some singing later. Oh, friends, you have no idea what's coming. We got Josiah Gray going up against Mr. Schultens here, and I'm pretty positive he's one of the worst pitchers in baseball. Just a, 15.7% K rate, 263 expected batting average. Does have a reduced barrel percentage, hard hit percentage. But my God, this 4-seamer slider combination, that's like all he throws, and both of them grade out as well below average pitches for me. So if he's not getting weak contact, it's a little bit problematic. 41.7% ground ball percentage. It's not like that's crazy here either, but Washington, they're very, very weak in terms of power statistics. However, they never strike out against righties, so at least something to pay attention to. Kind of makes it an interesting spot in general, but we're looking at targeting Josiah Gray here, Mr. All-Star Josiah Gray. That's a real thing that happened this season. 343 xWOBA, 20.3% K rate. And the big thing, the difference between him and Schultens, he just gives free passes to the road team. 11.5% walk rate here, 9.2% barrel percentage, a little bit more gettable here, even than Schultens on the other side. I know I just said Schultens is worse because Josiah Gray has some decent enough pitch mix. Like, some of his pitches are just okay. And again, he's somebody who throws a bunch of them. Slider primary, 25.6% primary pitch. Rare to see that in the major leagues. He throws a 4-seamer off of it, a sinker, a curveball. He tries to get by with deception. Maybe he can get by against most of the White Sox, even though Luis Robert, he's just murdering baseballs at the moment. Yeah. We're going to back the White Sox, and we're actually going to like it here. Plus money against a bad White Sox, against a bad Washington Nationals team. The White Sox are terrible too, don't get me wrong, but flip a coin. This is legitimately two bad situations, and we're going to hope Schultens can just keep the ball in the yard and limit some of the power the way he has been. Well, nothing like a bad power team to help you do that. The Boston Red Sox, the Texas Rangers, and I feel like this has just been on the card so much this season, but I'll get to it here in a second. Brayan Bello, he's been on the card quite a bit. Not going to be here in this spot because I respect the Texas offense. They get Josh Young back. Lots of pieces, lots of interesting things. Lots of why would I want to back Brayan Bello at just plus 126 on the road in Texas? Answer is I don't. Texas has every single thing to play for here, and it's just, I don't know. Just like an interesting spot where I don't think you need to be forcing in any kind of value on a 15-game slate, late MLB, NFL's going on simultaneously. Just put the dollars in your pocket and utilize it on small increments on a home run prop I'll talk about here in a second. For those who care about John Gray here on the other side of this one, we go from Gray to Gray, the law firm of Gray & Gray, 38.5% RDA percentage, good. It's so weird to look at his strikeout stuff because that was like his calling card in Colorado coming to Texas. Only a 21.5% K percentage. He's really reinvented what he does to be successful at the big league level. And a lot of it is just reducing barrels, 6.1% there. 4.46 expected ERA is up from last season's very quality 3.59 expected ERA, but the Ks are way down. He was at 25.7% last season, 21.5%. Not really looking to go out of my way to back him at minus 140, although, of course, they're the team that wants to win baseball games because this AL West is shaping up to be a dog flipping fight. So let's just bet the guy who's in the lineup for the Red Sox pretty much every single time. He rested on Sunday. He's been back Monday, Tuesday. And, well, Rafael Devers is good at baseball. Rafael Devers is one of the best hitters in baseball. You get any kind of a reduced number here against John Gray. Anything inside of plus 350, well, outside of plus 350. So I want better than that. We're firing him up. He's been like plus 320, plus 350. I'm not sure where they grade Gray here in this spot. Eovaldi. It's interesting. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rerun one thing here while I'm quickly on this because I'm just curious what the number ends up being if I put in John Gray for the full 100 just for it. Same thing. It's technically better than plus 300, which he should be here in this spot. Yeah, just bet Rafael Devers. He's hitting a bomb. It's almost like my computer hates me because I tried to sim while I was on a freaking video. Good job, Eric. Baltimore Orioles, Houston Astros. Also good job, Eric. Wait. Tampa Bay better just like run the table, and I need Houston to win these next couple games. That's for sure, but I'll just give my unbiased take here anyway. We got one side, Kyle Bradish, who's been awesome. Definitely the all-star pitcher quality guy from the Baltimore starting unit thing lineup. Majigger, 5 people. Mick Jagger, moves like Jagger. Christian Javier, he's been terrible this season. It's been very strange to watch. I still don't know what's going on with him other than the velo's down like a tick and a half. That's bad. That's bad. You go from being a quality strikeout arm, somebody who's just K'ing everybody, to just a 22.1% K rate, and you're giving up north of a 10% barrel percentage. This is problematic. This is very, very problematic. And he also has the complete, unbelievable fact that I found here today. The identical expected ERA and ERA. I've never seen them match up in September like this, but let me find the number here exactly. 4.74 ERA, 4.74 expected ERA. That is insane. That never happens. It's also really, really bad. And although Kyle Bradish is really good at pitching, this is a Houston offense. Again, they are incentivized to win. They are incentivized to roll out their A team every single time. And he does carry a 163 expected ISO against lefties, of which there are 2 that are very quality in Jordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker in this lineup. Now, still, only a 305 BABIP against lefty. Well, has the 305 BABIP. That's like league average, a little bit above league average, but 261 BABIP against righties. He's been running really, really good against them. And then you get a Yenner Diaz, who is in the lineup today. Why have they not been playing him over Martin Maldonado in some of these spots? I'm a little confused. I know the pitchers prefer Maldonado. I understand they have the rapport with him. That matters to me too. But like, Give me some runs, baby. I need Yair Diaz in this lineup. Come on. Michael Brantley. What are we doing? Houston, Baltimore. They're going to score a bunch of runs here. 9 is a low total here. Ryan Priestley, maybe he can blow another save too. That seems fun, huh? Over 9, Daddy Likey. Daddy needs a new bicycle. Let's do that. Oh my God. It's Lucas Giolito, Mr. Power Man himself, and the power he gives up. He used to have the power. I got power. Used to have it. It's gone away. He's not very good anymore. Cleveland's trying to do the Frankenstein thing, like they did with Noah Syndergaard, you know. Hopefully it goes better. Hopefully it goes better for Lucas Giolito than I win for Noah Syndergaard. Noah Syndergaard was dust, and I think we all knew that. So is Zach Greinke, though. I could do that whole bit again. I'm not going to, but actually I am. Just go away, Zach. You were fantastic back in your day. Just go. Be with your friends. Enjoy the afterlife or after baseball. I don't want to talk about this series anymore. So many people asked me about Cleveland, Kansas City today, and it was because I basically threw out the lean 2 days ago and got that right. I almost pulled the trigger on it because Kansas City plus 130. Thought about it, but I can't possibly in a million years back Zach Greinke. I refuse. Lucas Giolito, the strikeout stuff is good. He has good strikeout stuff, 26.1%, but 10.8% barrel percentage. No. Cleveland money line lean. I don't want to talk about these two baseball teams anymore. The AL Central is such dog shit. And I know this because my Twins aren't exactly good, but they are way better than these teams. That's saying something. Oh, man. That's it. I have legitimate interest in this baseball game. It's the Seattle Mariners going up against the Oakland Athletics. And we have successfully picked on George Kirby a lot of late. And it's not because he's a bad pitcher, because he's definitely not a bad pitcher with a 3.57 ERA, 1.05 whip. I find it just be insanely impressive. Do you know how many walks he's had this entire season? This is an insane number. 18 walks in 171 2/3 innings. That's unbelievable. That's not even real life. He's truly the best at avoiding walks. That's Greg Maddux. Well, Greg Maddux is on a planet of his own. There were years he didn't go with a 3-2 count, which just blows my mind. I know he'd pitch a little bit differently if it were modern now, but George Kirby doing that kind of stuff is pretty insane. But he is constantly overvalued by the books, and we've really attacked that and been sharp to beat it there of late. We had the over of that Dodger game. They end up going out, putting up runs, 6-3, ends up being the final there. We backed Tampa Bay against him last time out, ends up losing that one, 7-4, even though he was actually kind of decent. Well, he gave up 4 earned. That was beautiful for us. We bet against him for the Mets. We bet against him for the White Sox. That is 4 consecutive starts. We have profited in all 4 starts betting against George Kirby. And this is by far the leakiest wheel, if you will, out of all of them, because it's the Oakland Athletics. They are terrible. They have no incentive to win. But the same thing I talked about before, players are still playing for their jobs. You can only project what you believe that lineup to be, and then things can generally turn against you in some kind of capacity. But that's why I really, really want to see where these numbers land. Seattle is in that dogfight for the AL West. They're rolling out the A team pretty much every single time, even though what are we doing not having Cal Raleigh in the lineup there on Monday? What are we doing? Put Cal Raleigh in the lineup. Good God, guys. It's all right. We still hit the lock anyway, but it was a little bit hairy by me. I was a little upset if you couldn't tell. Now, this is where I think this play could really have some legs. It isn't the starting pitching side for what we expect Oakland to roll out. It is Joey Estes. And this is a 22-year-old righty, and I kind of like what I've seen from him. I ended up trying to find some tape of him over on YouTube here before this show because I've never really heard of him. I generally have a prospect report. I generally am going on Fangraphs pretty routinely, not just because of year-long leagues, but so I can be ahead of the curve when players like this show up so I can say, yes, I want to be betting them. I have no idea what to expect from Joey Estes, but between AA and then AAA in Las Vegas this season, a 3.74 ERA, the big thing, PCL. His PCL time, he actually survived to a certain extent with a 1.16 whip across all AAA this season. That is really good stuff, especially in such a hitter-friendly league and a hitter-friendly stadium like Las Vegas. And you're traveling to Albuquerque for God knows what reason, and Reno, and just say it, it's baseball on the moon. I've said it enough times. If Joey Estes can carry that over to the big league level, you don't know, but I know that he's going to be super, super undervalued compared to George Kirby, a pretty known quantity who I have my concerns about. It's not with the walk rate, but it's the 260 expected batting average, the 41.3% hard hit percentage. So all that time I just saved by blowing over Cleveland and Kansas City, which is a game that, like, God knows, I feel really good about this spot if Oakland plus 1.5 can be better than plus 115. Just give me that better than plus 115, and I will take it in a ballpark that suppresses run creation, creates scenarios in close games where you're looking at totals at 8.5 and things of that nature. If Oakland has that number attached to it, this could turn into a lock. And I didn't put the lean lock thing there because the people who skim through this, I don't want you to think that I'm potentially locking Oakland plus 1.5. You don't deserve the goods. You don't deserve this information, although it's still putting money on Oakland. It's not good. Son of a bitch. This picture's back in my life. I hate everything. Happy birthday to me. Whatever. I do it for the good of the... New BetMGM users, bet $10, get $200 instantly at the link below. It's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But seriously, it's a good deal. I'm not meaning to besmirch it. I just hate this picture of me. What am I doing? I know what you're going to be doing right now. You're going to go to that link below. You're going to realize it's only $10. $10. It's cheaper than I can get, like, Chipotle now. Chipotle. I went to Chipotle today. It was more than $10. And I didn't even get guac. What are we doing, Chipotle? Gas is out the butthole right now. What are we doing? This is basically as good of a deal as you're going to find here on planet Earth at this given time. Yes, there are no such things as free meals, but this meal costs you $10. You're going to get 4 $50 bets to be able to fire up over at BetMGM. So if you haven't signed up yet, this is the sports book you want access to now. We're done with Caesars, although Caesars, fantastic book. I'm sure they're going to have some kind of an offer going down in the link below. Check them out. But this one with BetMGM, 10 to get 200, that is an outrageous deal. You'd be silly not to take advantage of it here and get another sports book, one that has a lot of great lines posted, advantageous lines for us, the players, the bettors, over at BetMGM. I repeat, only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. This was the weirdest spot on Tuesday. Wake up in the morning, putting my sheet together, updating data, looking through Fangraphs, figuring out why did this look at a game that I was going to back Zach Allen and then I was going to jam, and then, well, why is everybody projecting for way more runs now? They had the roof open on Tuesday night. It is 95 degrees in freaking Glendale, Arizona, and they decided to keep the roof open for a baseball game. That one projected like crazy. Ended up with a late lock situation in the premium Discord. Fired it up on Twitter mainly because I was just like, how is this a thing? How is this a thing? Well, the roof's going to be closed because God forbid they have it open on a Wednesday. It's not afternoon, evening-ish, but yeah, it's going to be closed here for this afternoon. That would be stupid otherwise. Merrill Kelly, another one of my guys. God forbid I have to bet against him because they decide to open a roof and let everybody burn to death. Be weird. Anyway, San Francisco Giants on the other side. We kind of know what we're running into, right? They're never going to announce a pitcher ever. Like, we're never going to know when somebody is pitching for the San Francisco Giants or who's piggybacking off of who or what's going to happen. But pretty positive it ends up being Logan Webb. Pretty positive. Pitched on the 15th, 5 days rest. Now, they have 6 days in between, but no announced starter here as of yet. I think it might depend on how they play on Tuesday. Maybe they save Webb for one more day, give him the full 5-day rest, pitch him on the 6th day. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So I think it's going to end up being him. We know we love the ground ball rate for him. If it ends up being Logan Webb, this might be a spot that we just kind of absolutely jam. But again, it's a bullpen situation, and I'm already projecting this under as something that we want to be attacking here. And it looks like some books just posted Logan Webb here as I'm updating it. So they have the same data that I'm working with here and why I like this play. But either way, Merrill Kelly here on the other side, he's been solid pretty much all season long for us. The strikeouts have come up out of nowhere, and I don't even know if they're going to continue based on some of the things that I'm looking at. They spike from time to time because when he has a feel for the sinker cutter, it is lethal coming off of the four-seamer change because the four-seamer change are unchanged. They are great pitches, but this sinker cutter curve kind of just throws them to opposite-handedness, kind of being able to make it look like it's the same pitch, and then it breaks away at the last second. Again, it's almost like that's his job. I'm literally just describing pitching. Like, that's what every pitcher is trying to do. But just saying that the strikeout stuff, I don't expect to continue to have a 26.5% K rate clip off of what we've seen from Merrill Kelly in seasons past. Now, the 9.4% walk rate, you could also argue that that is due for regression. He's sitting there at 7.6% in 2022 with a 22% K rate. So, like, maybe it balances out a little bit. Although I prefer the strikeout stuff. And, hey, if you have a 10% walk rate, I'll live with it most of the time because you have the go-to pitch. You have the stuff to be able to get yourself out of some of those situations. And, yeah, 2% there is different than 4% at a K category. Does that make sense? Cool. Great, grand. Great talk. Let's take an under here, shall we? Under 8. Yeah, under 8. Not my favorite because this is a key number for overs. 8, 10, 12, things of that nature. 4-4 ball game. You're guaranteed that over there. You lose the under guaranteed. So you're projecting teams out for certain runs, but still, this one because of Kelly, and if it ends up being Logan Webb, fantastic stuff, under 8, that would be the play. I've got 2 locks today coming down the pipeline for you, but I have 3 lock plays, and that's because 2 plays exist in this one. We have Chase Anderson getting out of Coors Field, going up against Seth Lugo and the Padres. Padres starting to find some offensive form when it doesn't fucking matter. Hey, good job, guys. Woo! Better luck next year. Chase Anderson, though. Let's check this out. Colorado Rockies friends. This is wild. He's been way better in Coors Field this season, and I don't know what I think about it. Maybe Chase Anderson just really loves the comfort of his own bed there in Colorado, or doesn't have to deal with his wife, or nope, I can't come up with anything. He has a 46 1/3 sample size in terms of innings. 46 1/3 innings he's pitched at home games in Coors Field this season. 4.66 ERA, 1.34 whip. Not outstanding, but still pretty decent stuff considering Coors Field very difficult to pitch in. Only 8 home runs allowed too, throwing that in there. In 28 2/3 innings on the road this season, 8.16 ERA, 1.64 whip with 9 home runs given up. So nearly half of the sample size in terms of innings, and has 1 more home run given up on the road. Now, part of that is because when you're a pitcher for the Colorado Rockies, you're facing the Dodgers, you're facing San Francisco. Now, maybe not at the clip of a year or two ago because of the ways that they changed the schedule up, but like, you're still facing some really good National League teams a majority of those times. So you're not exactly leaving a ballpark, but and going to like a happy place. Happy. I'm telling you right now, this is just an absolute smash spot because these Padres, they still project out with this lineup. And this Luis Campusano, my God, dude, this guy is just murdering baseballs. He's now batting cleanup for the San Diego Padres. Who'd have thunk it? Not me, not you, none of us. Luis Campusano, this dude, 440 expected slugging, 40.8% hard hit percentage, but he brings that 14.2 degree launch angle, and he never strikes out. 13.1% K rate. That's kind of like a better version of Josh Bell being added to this San Diego team, coming off of when Josh Bell was at that team, then he was at Cleveland. He's just bounced all over the place, playing hopscotch. And Seth Lugo, not my favorite back on planet Earth, but there are some really, really strong signs that this is somebody that we just want to be invested in because he's facing Colorado. There's really nothing else to say besides Colorado is not a great lineup. You had Chris Bryant, another guy who can strike out, another guy who can hit it far as well. Ryan McMahon, Nolan Jones. Get by some of those lefties, Seth, and you're fine. 44% hard hit percentage, 439 expected slugging, not ideal. But he has the 23.1% K rate. And if you have that strikeout rate going up against a Rockies team that strikes out at the top 3 rate against right-handed pitching in baseball, we should be firing you up. I think he'll still give up a couple, and that's why I am going towards this play. San Diego on the run line in apocalyptic fashion where they just smash souls, take Chase Anderson, your soul is mine. A little bit of Shao Kahn action from Mortal Kombat. Anybody play Mortal Kombat 1? Should I be buying it? I don't have time. I do have time for this, though. San Diego minus 1.5 with the over of 9. Get over here. We have Evan Savale taking on the Los Angeles Angels without Shohei Ohtani and on the road, and this lineup is just dog shit. They're so bad. Hey, they called Joe Adell back up. That's cool. I love Joe Adell. Would have been useful during the fantasy season, huh? Thanks, guys. Reed Detmers, 42.3% hard hit percentage. He sounds like he's going to end up being the starter here for the Los Angeles Angels, and I don't really know what to make of his pitch count. There's really no incentive for them to go out and have him sling it around the yard there. 4.77 ERA, 1.37 whip. He hasn't pitched since the 11th, so it'll be nearly 9 days off here. And he went 108 pitches there in that spot. Again, he had just a sickness, a rumbly in his tumbly, if you will. But like Southpaw's going up against Tampa, not the easiest spot. We're talking about a top 3 team in baseball in terms of WRC plus against lefties and righties. Even without Wander, he shall not be named anymore, Franco. Like, this is such a gross spot, guys. And that's why I think Aaron Savali, we want to be paying very close attention to what we're getting here in terms of a number. It's a disgusting, gross spot, but I'm going to call this lean lock. And I know I didn't call the other one lean lock earlier, but that's because it is what it is. Aaron Savali is really good. 375 expected slugging, 296 XWO, but 35.4% hard hit percentage. Getting to face this Angels team that just sucks. Tampa Bay, they need to win. They would like to win the AL West. Or sorry, the AL East. Said that completely backwards. AL East. They're in that crazy, crazy competitive division. Every AL division besides the Central is in the middle of an absolute dogfight. Them, Baltimore, they're going to be playing some heads-up poker here the rest of the way. Going to be exciting to watch. Savale, give me a slam number. Otherwise, this could be just a parlay piece. Otherwise, I'm okay passing too, but want this one on your radar purely because mismatch of epic proportions. Producer Jacob, you knew it was going to be this game, right? Kadai Senga and the New York Mets taking on, I don't really give a shit, from the Miami Marlins. It's not going to change my play. This guy, after a really tough start of the season for us, I told you, he had the best pitch in baseball based off of what I saw in spring training. We backed him. We backed him all the way into up 8.4 units on the season in K props. Yeah, there were a couple ladders in there. Long time ago. Some would say I haven't laddered a man since 1993. Something that I said yesterday. But this is a moment that must be acknowledged. It must be respected. I would like to take the mood down. I would like to take a second to appreciate the greatness that is the Ghost Fork, that is Kadai Senga. I would like to honor him. And I would like to remember him. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. We can afford the Maurice. Last chance to bet. Kadai Senga this season. 8Ks. Let's go. 8Ks for Kadai Senga. To our second lock of the day, my friends. Kevin Gausman taking on Michael King. And this Michael King experiment is going very well for the Yankees. And I love to just bash on them. I love to say that they are not a smart organization when it comes to anything other than unloading the clip on the best players sometimes. And then making stupid trades and then really not having any idea how to handle your organization and really just overall screwing the pooch with really good rosters. They did get completely screwed by the Houston Astros, cheating, so there's that too. But I digress. Michael King, this has been a genius experiment for them. It's the end of the season. They don't have anything to play for. And yet, they're out here extending Michael King into a starter because a starter is more valuable than a reliever. And Michael King is routinely been one of the best relievers in baseball. As like a setup guy, as an eighth inning guy, wherever they've put him, he's had ridiculous stuff. And this season is no different. 2.77 ERA, 1.15 whip. And now they've allowed him to start games. They've extended him to 87 pitches in his last start. He's gone from 50 to 61 to 69 to 79 to 87 to see if his arm can handle it. Because again, if they can get a steal here for another year, that contract's not going anywhere unless he's going to hold out. They'll be happy to restructure if he looks as good as he's looked here in these last 5 starts. Look at this. 3 earned in 5 starts with a pretty large sample size to boot. What are we doing? Only 1 earned in 3 consecutive games? He's awesome as a starter, and I've always liked the stuff. It would be disturbing if the Yankees could, think their way into this one. But he is good. Kevin Gausman is already confirmed good. One of the best pitchers in baseball, 31.1% K rate. Now, he does have the barrel percentage in Yankee Stadium that can be problematic, 10.1%, 43.5% hard hit percentage. Yet, I'm absolutely in love with the under of 7.5 here. We're going to lock it in, friends. Click. Boom. Pittsburgh and the Cubs, Justin Steele. I'm mad at you. I like money, Justin Steele, and there was a chance that in some way, shape, or form, he could have played himself into Cy Young consideration with an epic start last time out against Arizona. He got shelled. And he had 12 ground balls to just 2 fly balls, but both of those fly balls left the damn yard in Arizona. Gave up 6 earned in 6 innings pitched. That was his worst start of the year. Worst start of the year at the absolute worst possible time. That's a bummer. It's a shame, really. Like Seinfeld gift action. But yeah. Anyway, Pittsburgh, I have no idea what they're going to be doing here, but probably just going to be this son of a Quinn Priest affair. Yeah. 9.09 ERA, 1.84 whip. That's really bad stuff. That's why I'm putting Cubs minus 1.5, and I'm leaning with it, but I really need to see the number, and I doubt it's going to be bettable. I'm just going to throw it out there. The books are going to look at that. Public will see that, and they're just not going to make this bettable. Not going to make it worth the squeeze. The juice will not be worth the squeeze. That's the point of this show. I don't want to talk about this game. I don't. Again, this is late season MLB. I can just hit pass. I can just say lean because I have no idea what to expect, and I can just move on with my life. Because do you want to bet on Adrian Hauser in this spot? I don't. He's not even the announced starter because they don't even want to start him. And Zach Thompson's over here, and he had 1 good outing against Tampa Bay, I think it was. He turned into Cy Thompson for a day. That's gone away. 4.34 ERA, 1.46 whip. Pass. This game is terrible. If I do anything, it's because of how terrible it is. Over to infinity and beyond. I just try to think of a funny bit because I really hate this game. Couldn't think of anything funny on that last bit, but you know what? Doesn't matter. You want the plays? Here's a play for you. Reese Olson going up against Bryce Miller Bobby Miller. I always do that. Bryce Miller pitches for Seattle. Bobby Miller pitches for the Dodgers. But Bobby Miller's better. I like him. 4.03 ERA, 1.16 whip across the course of this season. If you look at some of his splits, he's been epic in Dodger Stadium this season, despite the fact that the ERA is actually higher at home. 4.73 ERA, 3.38 on the road. Larger sample size on the road. Better ballparks to pitch in on the road within your division. San Diego, Petco, San Francisco, up north, Arizona, Chase Field, better than it is to pitch in Dodger stadiums. Just saying, kind of makes sense. You're going to be pitching more divisional games, although He's been on the road in Seattle. That's helpful. On the road in Washington last time out, also helpful. He got shelled in both 3 and 5 earns. But you know what? Looking at the stuff, getting back home, I expect positive regression for his ERA in Dodger Stadium. And, well, against the Detroit team, seems like a good time to just fire it up right off the bat. This was actually the first bet that I made, period, the entire day because, well, I bet Detroit on Tuesday and I felt like a sick person. And now, after locking the Dodgers late over on X, you should follow me over at Eric Lindquist. That way you can get updated stuff from me. And then also the premium Discord, that's where I'm firing every single bet. If you want access to that, go down below, stokastic.com/Lindy. But we are going to be backing this Dodgers team in its full capacity here until they just solidify that 2 spot. And then I have no idea what to do with this baseball team with like watered down lineups, and because their watered down lineups are still good and you're going to want to bet the other side of it. But then you have like teams like this. Reese Olson, 10.9% barrel percentage, 464 expected slugging. While we are getting the A team every single time from the Dodgers, if it grades out as a good play, you should just fire it because it's going to be a safer play than most. Just is. -1.5 outside of standard juice, and I'm still okay with that. What is 126-cent difference between the money line and run line? That's a pretty drastic difference. This number is going to close north of -120. I guarantee it. And if it doesn't, I will refund you everything that it cost you to watch this video. So, like, not money. It'd be like time. I don't think I can give you time back. Yeah, I got nothing for you. Enjoy. Los Angeles, -1.5. Hope it wins for us. Yay. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Thank you again for everybody, all of the great, nice words. Really appreciate you. Hopefully you appreciated this information as well. Can help it to make some of your own wagers. And one of those spots to make some of those wagers, BetMGM, bet $10, get yourself $200 in bonus bets. That's 4 $50 bonus bets instantly into your account. Thank you to producer Jacob here, the faceless man today. That's what it is. Disappeared into the abyss. Internet. It's a feisty thing. Anyway, BetMGM, check them out. Only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm going to get myself the heck up out of here. Got dinner. Got things to do. Got to be older. Can't refund that time. Yeah. Till next time, friends. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Wednesday.